Right, with this one, I'm showing you how to make some simple fabric weights. I've done my little prototype to check that it works. Here, there we go. It's just 3 2.5-inch squares stitched together. Now I'm stitching them together on the outside, so wrong sides facing each other. I'm just chain piecing them all together with the blanket stitch, which will give a tidy finish on the outside, but it will also be sturdy enough to do what I want it to do. So for chain piecing, basically you're attaching a whole chain of fabrics together. So you're stitching down one side like so, and then whilst they're all still flat, we're going to stitch down the side that's at a 90-degree angle. So this is showing you how to make some simple pattern weights. I'm stitching 2.5-inch squares together. This is called chain piecing. So stop the machine, get to the end, and put your next piece in. Saves. You stop start, it saves thread, saves time. You could do this with patchwork as well. Come to the end, put the next piece in. So I'm using a blanket stitch here, and I'm stitching them together on the outside because they're just pattern weights. So it doesn't really matter so much of the finish. So we have stitched them together along one side, and now we've stitched them together along the second side, so that we are like that. Can you see? Yeah. Okay. So now that you've got your pattern weight stitched together like that, what you want to do is get your next square, and you are going to stitch along this edge and along this edge. So again, two sides of the square. So line it up, stick it under your machine, and off we go. If your needle doesn't come unthreaded every time you cut your thread. Right, try again. So, way back. There we go. If you want to know, the machine is set at 3.5 millimeters long by 2.5 millimeters wide. It's a nice close blanket stitch, so that your stuffing, whatever you decide to stuff them with, doesn't come out. So now that we've got to this point, we've got 3 pieces stitched together and a nice big opening. So I'm going to do the same with all the rest of them now. Right, now we've got all the rest of them together, we're going to stitch the final 2 sides, but we're not going to stitch all the way along. So we'll go all the way along one side. Just let me pull that out a bit. Oh, maybe not. Right, we'll go all the way along one side. And we're going to go not quite all the way along the other side. Just tidy this up a bit. There we go. Right. So not quite all the way along this other side here. There we go. So you've got to leave a little bit of an opening so that you're able to get your weight into it. Now, so you're left with a pyramid sort of shape when it's all, can you see that? You're left with a pyramid sort of a shape when it's all done. The squeaking in the background is my chair. This is made the same way. This is my pin cushion. So you can see you've got one square there, by chance, same fabric. So you've got one square there, one square underneath, and one square on the top. So if you're wanting to do the pin cushion, you get to this stage and you stitch. What do you stitch? I'd have to fathom this out. Which way does it go? I can't remember. You stitch them together somehow and you come up with that. I can't remember how I did it. Now there's one to ponder on. The other one to ponder on is... can't reach it. I've got another pin cushion that is that sort of... It's turned... yeah. I'll fathom it out and ponder it and try and put a video up of what we did, of what I did. But yeah, there we go. So we stitch all the sides together so that we're getting little pyramids all the way along one of the last sides. And then part way along this one, just so that you can then stuff it. I am going to use Sheepo long grain rice. My thread broke. This is Coats Moon thread. This is what I use for piecing my patchwork. It's not what I would recommend using for dressmaking, which is what we're going to be doing. I use it for piecing my patchwork because it's just cheap thread. So leave a little opening. And then when we've done all of them, we're going to stuff them. So I'll come back and show you how we finish them. Right, I'm just going to quickly show you this. This is Filling It Mark II. So I've made a little funnel. Very quickly. Made a little funnel. With a fairly large hole in it. So that your rice is easier to get inside. There we go. There, that's better, isn't it? And of course, it goes without saying that, oh, I've not done this one. Once you have these, you really need to keep them in a dry atmosphere, because when rice gets wet, well, yeah, it'll go all manky, won't it? So there we go. Mark II, made a funnel, quite a big hole in it. Much easier to put the rice in.